All right, continuing our page layout tutorial here. In the previous one, I kind of went through creating sections and organizing your data. That's very specific to the preferences of your users. One thing that is related to this topic and might seem a little bit confusing at first, so I'm going to forewarn you that if you just kind of pay attention and think about what I'm saying and maybe even pause and look in your own org, you're going to see some of these things in this next or in this current video that we're doing really can be a little confusing at first, and then they're going to get very comfortable for you quickly. So I'm going to go into this contact sales layout, and when you're looking up here, one of the things you might say is, why would I want anyone to be able to delete my contacts? That seems kind of dangerous to have them even intentionally or unintentionally delete a contact, and maybe we want to have a way for them to archive it but not to actually delete the record. And by the way, a little side note, when someone deletes the record, it's not actually deleted. It is just marked as deleted in the system and will not show up, but you can do a export of your data and those records will still be present. So just be aware that you don't need to be worried if someone deletes a bunch of data. You can actually repopulate it, but the delete button here is essentially a way for the system to remove it from view inside the user interface. So that's a little side note, maybe I should say focused on the main topic, which is we want to get rid of the ability for them to even delete. So this is the part that's a little bit weird, and I don't know if it's going to be easier to split screen this or not, but I'm going to try it this way. So right now we've got edit, new case, new note, delete, view contact hierarchy, clone, etc. And so these are all what I would call buttons. And then we also have new task, new event, log call, and email. So these are all in basically the same area in the contact layout. So I'm going to click down here, this mobile and lightning experience. I'm just going to click this so we can see all the buttons. Okay. So the part that's a little bit weird is post, file, new task, log a call, new case. Some of these are the buttons at the top here, and some of them are the buttons down here. And it really depends on what they're doing, whether they're located up here or located down here. So I'm going to try to split screen this. So we'll pull this out and let's see if this actually helps or hurts us. So if you look here, here are the lightning actions. So post is actually not on either one of these, and we're going to talk about chatter. So I'm going to remove that for a second, just dragging it up. And I'm going to remove file, and then we get to the first one that we actually see is new task, and then we see log a call. So we have log a call on here, and then new event. I'm actually surprised to see, it may be that I've crunched this down, but this should be going across, like what we see on the list here should match up with what we see up here. So I'm surprised that log a call is before new event. But then you're going to see new case and new notes. So these are at the top instead of down here. So that's kind of weird when you first look at it. Thanks isn't anywhere. Let's look at what's in here. Delete, view hierarchy. Let's get rid of thanks. Let's get rid of link. Let's get rid of poll. These have to do with something called chatter. Question. So then our next one is email, which if we go into more, there's the email. So we've got email, add to call list. I don't think we've got that up here. No, we don't have add to call list. Check for new data. That's not up there. Change owner might be up here. Change owners on here. Yeah, so I'm surprised these are actually out of order on here. Typically they follow the same order. Let me just see if spreading these out. Clone, edit, delete. Yeah, interestingly, typically the order they are here going left to right and then down to the next row is how they appear on your layout. But let's go ahead and keep going here. So let's say you don't want someone to be able to delete. I'm going to go ahead and drag that up here. And let's just quick save this. Go ahead and quick save here. And then when we refresh this, again, it may take 30 seconds or so, but let's just see. When I go on here, there's no delete. I also might want them to be able to click the edit button more easily. So when I go in here, what I would do is drag the edit button up to the front, and where it turns dark green is where it's going to land. Okay, so now edit is supposed to be at the front. I'm going to click refresh here, and you might notice that instead of save I did quick save. So there's edit. Quick save just lets you stay in here and make other changes and then preview it over here. Save makes it go out of here, and then you have to click back in to get to the point where you can make additional edits. So I'm going to say the first thing I want my users to do might be they send email a lot. So I'm going to look down here and I'm going to move email. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, you just put edit at the front. Why would you put email at the front? Remember, email is actually down here. So when I quick save this, this is the part that I think is so weird. I'm surprised they didn't put these in different sections, but now email is first and so is edit because they're in different sections. So I find that a bit odd, and I think most new users find that fairly odd. But now we have email, and then the next one is new task, and then after that log a call and new event. So log a call, new event, and in between we have new note, which is up at the top. My whole point of this is all of the buttons at the top and down here are mixed together in this one section, and that can be fairly confusing about, well, why do I see these things in the same location when they're in different locations up here. So just be aware of that. But you can drag things off of there, or you can add things back on. So let's say that I forgot, I got rid of clone, and I quick saved it, and then I refresh over here, and clone should be gone now from the pick list. It is. I go, wait a minute, I do want them to be able to clone contacts because there might be people that are spouses or whatever, and I want a lot of their information to be the same. So these are called mobile and lightning actions. That's your button list, and when you get to this point, you can kind of look at all the buttons available and say, yeah, clone should definitely be on here. I'll put it right after edit, so that when people are looking at the record, they can either edit it or they can clone it immediately. So let's refresh, and we should see edit then clone. The other thing that I'll look at in a separate video is, you may say, well, I don't like just 3 here. I actually want to see more buttons instead of this drop down, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video, just to kind of give you a quick tip on making this more accessible. Sometimes people don't see this drop down and they're looking for the button, so you might want to make it more visible, and we're going to look at that in a separate video that's just very short, but it does give you some added usability for your team because they don't have to go looking in a drop down. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Leave comments or ideas for videos you want us to make, and hit us with a like and subscribe to hear about new content we'll be releasing soon. Until then, we've provided some video recommendations at the bottom of the screen, and if you need more immediate help, you can book a consultation by using the link in the description, and we'll be happy to help you out.